The Pepcon disaster. The Pepcon disaster in 1988 was one of the largest chemical explosions in US history. A fire at the rocket fuel plant triggered multiple explosions of ammonium perchlorate, creating a blast equivalent to 1,000 tons or 1 kiloton of TNT. The explosion created a crater 15 feet deep and 200 feet wide, unaliving 2 people and causing damage estimated at $100 million. Here's the radius of the blast using New York as a reference. Port of Beirut. The 2020 Beirut port explosion was caused by the detonation of 2,750 tons of improperly stored ammonium nitrate. The blast was one of the largest non-nuclear explosions in history. The explosion unalived at least 218 people, injuring 7,000, and caused $15 billion in property damage. That's 1/10 the value of Warren Buffett. It was so powerful that it was felt in Cyprus more than 150 miles away. New York for reference. The Halifax explosion. The largest human-made accidental explosion before the atomic age occurred in Halifax, Nova Scotia in 1917. The Norwegian vessel, the SS Emo, collided with the French cargo ship SS Mont Blanc, which was fully loaded with wartime explosives. The resulting fire ignited the explosive cargo, creating a blast that was the equivalent of 2,900 tons, or 2.9 kilotons, of TNT. The explosion destroyed over 1,600 buildings, created a tsunami, and unalived approximately 2,000 people. New York for reference. The N-1 rocket explosion. The Soviet N-1 rocket explosion in 1969 was the largest rocket explosion in history. During a failed launch attempt, all 30 engines failed simultaneously, causing the rocket to fall back onto the launch pad. The explosion was equivalent to 7,000 tons of TNT, destroying the launch complex and creating a crater 50 feet deep. New York for reference. Castle Bravo. The largest U.S. nuclear test ever conducted was the Castle Bravo detonation in 1954. It occurred in Bikini Atoll. The yield was 15 million tons, or 15 megatons, nearly 3 times what was expected. The miscalculation led to significant radioactive fallout, contaminating nearby islands and a Japanese fishing boat. The incident sparked international concern about nuclear testing and contributed to the development of the Limited Test Ban Treaty. New York for reference. Tunguska event. The Tunguska event of 1908 remains the largest explosion in recorded history caused by an impact from space. On June 30th, a massive explosion flattened 80 million trees over 830 square miles of Siberian forest. The blast was estimated to be 1,000 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. With an estimated yield of 3 million to 20 million tons of TNT, surprisingly, no impact crater was ever found, leading scientists to believe that the asteroid or comet exploded before hitting the ground. New York for reference. TSAR Bomba. The most powerful nuclear weapon ever detonated was the Soviet Union's TSAR Bomba in 1961. The hydrogen bomb had a yield of 50 million tons, that's 50 megatons, though it was originally designed for 100 megatons before being scaled down. The explosion's fireball was visible from 620 miles away, and its mushroom cloud rose 40 miles high. The blast wave circled the Earth 3 times, and windows were shattered up to 560 miles away. New York for reference. Krakatoa. The 1883 eruption of Krakatoa in Indonesia was one of the deadliest and most destructive volcanic events in recorded history. The explosion was heard 3,000 miles away and released energy equivalent to 200 million tons of TNT. The eruption destroyed 2/3 of the island, created tsunamis up to 120 feet high, and unalived over 36,000 people. The explosion sent ash 50 miles into the atmosphere, causing global temperatures to drop by 2.2 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 years. New York for reference. Mount Tambora. The 1815 eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia was the most powerful volcanic eruption ever recorded in history. The explosion released energy equivalent to 800 million tons of TNT. The eruption ejected so much volcanic ash into the atmosphere that 1816 became known as the year without a summer, causing global crop failures and famine. New York for reference. If you want to discuss this video or suggest an idea for the next one, join my Discord, link in the description.